welcome back to my channel. My name is Julie and I am the author of the blog CapturingWonderland.com. Today I wanted to kind of show you what I have been doing in my dining room, and one of the things that I have recently been working on is my dining room door frame, which holds 2 French doors. I recently decided that I wanted to switch which direction they swung, so we went ahead and uninstalled them and reinstalled them swinging out of the room instead of in, which gives more space in my dining room, and it made it to where the doors were not hitting my dining room chairs any longer. The only issue is it left 6 giant hinge holes that had been chiseled into the door frame, so that needed to be filled. I've used Bondo in many projects throughout the years, and I thought I would just take you along and show you how I use it in my DIY work and why it makes it so much easier to fix wood damage using Bondo. So how to repair wood damage with Bondo. Whether it's home projects or you're restoring a piece of furniture, Bondo is a really amazing tool that you really should have in your arsenal. Let me tell you exactly how I use Bondo to repair wood damage in my home. The one downfall to Bondo is that it really stinks. So you want to make sure that you have proper ventilation when using it, because the smell will fill up your entire house. I start off with a paper plate and my metal scraper. With this scraper, I usually add about a 1/4 cup of the Bondo brown filler to my plate, and then I add the 1/4 teaspoon of the hardener. I mix it really thoroughly and I work really quickly, mixing both parts of them together until I get a really rich brown color. When you have it thoroughly mixed, you want to take your scraper. I prefer a metal scraper over a plastic one simply because it's easier to keep clean and it's multi-purpose, so I use it everywhere. If anything, you want to overfill the area. Don't skimp on it. You want to make it smooth as much as possible, but make sure that the entire area of damage is covered over, because then you're going to be sanding it down flush with the rest of the piece. Bondo dries extremely fast. In most application it dries within 15 minutes and it's ready to be sanded. Now here's a note. The more hardener you use, which is the red bottle, the more of that you use, the quicker it dries. And it already dries pretty quickly anyway, so you want to ensure that you have enough time to work with it before it's drying on you. Otherwise you will start to see clumps in it. I mean, you can always fix that. It's just, you're gonna have to go back in for a second application after you sand it down. Temperature also plays a part in how quickly Bondo dries. Heat helps it dry faster, so if you are working with it on a really hot day or in a hot environment, it's going to dry a lot faster. If it's cold, it will dry a lot slower. So because it is colder in my dining room, it took a little bit longer than 15 minutes. I'd say probably 20 to 30 minutes to dry completely. Because it dries quickly, you want to work with it in small batches. I mix a small amount. Obviously my entire door frame needed Bondo, so I had to mix it a 1/4 cup at a time just to ensure that I could work with it and get it to a smooth finish before it dried on me. When it's dry, sand it flat. I typically use 120 grit sandpaper to sand the Bondo. And unfortunately, when you are applying Bondo in your home, you're gonna have to sand in your home. Now, whether or not you use an orbital sander is up to you. You could hand sand it, but I always choose to use an orbital sander, even though it makes an incredible mess. After you sand it completely, you're going to want to clean the area with a damp rag just to make sure that you get any additional remaining dust before you go ahead and paint over it. Now remember to clean your tools off really quickly after you're done using them, because it will continue to get harder the longer it sits, and so it'll make it a lot harder of a job to clean your tools off after the fact. So I scrape any large pieces off using a spare butter knife usually, and then I will go in with like Bonami or Barkeeper's Friend, and then I will go in with a Brillo pad to completely clean it off entirely. So Bondo makes it easy to repair wood furniture damage. Number one, it helps you with filling in missing veneer. Number two, you can actually use it to recreate missing pieces. I have not tried that, but I have seen other people do that. Number three, obviously it is used to fill holes, gouges, and any scrapes on the furniture. It can help you get a really smooth, beautiful, almost like a brand new piece of furniture look if that's what you're going for. One of the most recent furniture pieces that I have used Bondo to help restore a piece of it was an antique wardrobe I'm actually working on. It has a really unusual handle, and my children didn't understand how it worked and actually ended up breaking the handle by just forcing the door open. So the back popped off, and the 4 small screws that were used to connect the door hardware, the holes were stripped out. So I couldn't just put it back together. I had to use Bondo to fill the holes before I could reinstall the door hardware. That's just a small example of how you can use Bondo pretty much in everyday use, honestly. Now I have used Bondo Wood Filler and I have used the all-purpose filler. I actually used both in my door frame because I ran out of wood filler. They only sell wood filler in a bottle about that big, but the all-purpose filler comes in giant containers. So if you're not worried about possibly staining anything, then honestly there's really no difference. The all-purpose filler is pink tinted, so it looks a little bit differently than the wood filler will look. The wood filler is brown to match with the color of wood. Now, in my experience with wood fillers, even if it says that they're stainable, regardless of the brand, I have never had great luck being able to stain it to the same color to where it wouldn't stick out with the wood. And since I'm painting my door frame, it wasn't a big issue. So it was actually perfect for me to be able to fix the door frame. How does Bondo work and what can you use it for? When the filler and hardener are mixed, a reaction occurs which allows the filler to chemically bond to the surface for a permanent repair. The 2-part wood filler cures quickly, making it easy to spread while adhering it to the surface you are repairing. For more advanced repairs, Bondo Wood Filler can be applied in layers to rebuild rotted or missing pieces of wood, unlike slower drying water or solvent-based wood fillers that cure by evaporation. Bondo Wood Filler chemically cross-links to cure for a faster, more durable repair. As a result, Bondo Wood Filler is water resistant and will not shrink. This saves money, saves time, and helps create professional grade repairs that last. And that is from the 3M website itself. So some of the recommended applications are windowsills, furniture, exterior wood trim such as door frames, jambs, soffits, and fascia, cabinets, fences and their posts, decks, garage doors, wood floors and stairs, siding, exterior wood columns, doors and flower boxes, interior doors, baseboards, etc. Pretty much anything wood. How does Bondo save you money and time? Bondo enables you to fix things instead of having to replace them. Being able to use the wood hardener to repair wood rot and then use Bondo Wood Filler to fill in all of missing or damaged wood allows you to keep existing original wood. For me, it's also been an answer to problems I didn't have another answer to, and I would have no idea how I would fix it otherwise. Beyond completely tearing out my door frame and rebuilding it or ripping the shiplap off my walls, Bondo gave me the ability to simply hide my mistakes by covertly filling in the holes left behind permanently. And once it's painted, no one will be the wiser, which saves me time and money. And when it comes to furniture repair, again, it is allowing you to salvage a beautiful piece that otherwise might have been deemed trash and would just be garbage. It would become garbage. In this instance, you can also use Bondo to make money. Plenty of furniture flippers use Bondo to repair pieces that scare other people away, so they get them for a really deep discount. That's something that I use, even though I don't really typically flip furniture. Pretty much every piece that I've sold, I have made a profit off of because I'm able to buy them so cheaply. But for me, it's about building my home by curating my furnishings one piece at a time on a very tight budget. If I can get a piece of Victorian furniture for a fraction of the cost of buying something new because it needs to be repaired, then that is a huge win for me. And I get what I want, and it may take a little bit of time to fix it or repair it, but it's totally worth it in the end. Well, friends, thank you so much for watching all the way through if you've made it this far. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more content, and share with friends that you think would be interested in this. Thanks again. Bye.